Well, by the way, you were in the lawsuit.
Yeah, and I didn't even know that until you saw it.
There was a half picture of you.
Hi and welcome to Flaa Talk. I'm Kjersti Flaa and this is Magnus. He's been on my channel before. He lives with me. He is my boyfriend and he's also a Hollywood insider. He's been in this business for how long, Magnus?
More than I care to remember, I think.
Yeah. This morning, I woke up and you were already up. You'd been up since like 5 o'clock in the morning.
No, I woke up at 3:30. I couldn't sleep.
3:30.
And then I thought, what better time to read through a lawsuit? So
you read through the whole amended lawsuit, which was how many pages? Over 200?
Yeah, more than 224, something like that.
And then you looked at me when I woke up and you were like, oh my God, why were you so shocked?
Wow. Where should I start? I just, the overall feeling I get or the overall question that comes to mind when you read something like that is why, because if you read his lawsuit, it reads like a hostile takeover that she and Ryan Reynolds did, and the question is why? Why would they want to take something that wasn't theirs and turn it into their own? What they have everything already.
They're so rich and successful,
and they can get any project going because with their names and their weight behind them. So why would they want to take something that he had worked on for 5 years and
make it? I think that's what everyone is so surprised by, and also the way that they did it, which is so nasty. It reminded me so much of what we went through with the Golden Globes. If you haven't watched that video, I talk about my lawsuit against the Golden Globes and Magnus' lawsuit against the Golden Globes, which is still going actually. But there was so many similarities, don't you think, through what's going on here?
Bullies, you mean?
Yeah. Bullies and the power play and, how the manipulation of people around them, just like the Golden Globes did with us, that whole behavior that was kind of accepted. And that's what we see here.
And no one says no. Oh, everyone is just like, okay, let's let them have this, and let's go along with it because otherwise they will stop the movie. And another question, of course, is that why would anyone want to work in Hollywood when you see something like that? Why would anyone want to go through this?
Is it worth it? Like, even if you make so much money, is it worth being in such a hostile world?
Baldoni ended up in the hospital in the end.
Was that because of the...
Well, he had back issues, but I mean, they talked about the stress he was under, and it blows my mind. It's just... Yeah.
I think what I read so far there's a timeline also, because now, as we know, his lawyer released a website where he put the amended complaint or the amended lawsuit, where they added new things after this TikToker found that there was evidence of metadata in that New York Times article that shows that they were been working with New York Times for a long time. But anyway, so he made this, he created this website where he added the amended complaint plus a timeline, which was kind of smart because that means that it's not that he leaked like a press release or said something to the press. It's actually a part of a lawsuit. So whatever happens tomorrow in the court hearing, even if it gets a gag order, it doesn't really affect all the information that's already out there. Which is good. But I just wanted to say one thing that I really reacted to was the statement that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds prepared.
Oh, on his behalf?
Yes.
Yeah. On the studio's behalf as well, I think, right?
Yes. What happened was that after Blake Lively had been smeared by the public, really, because that's what happened, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively created a statement that they wanted Justin Baldoni and the studio to go out with. I have to read it. It's the only thing I'm going to read, but I just have to read this. It's so outrageous. So they sent this on August 12th. It was actually 2 days after, or 3 days after I released my interview. They said, it ends with us was a...
So this is supposed to be Baldoni's word, right?
Yeah, so they created his words for him. It ends with us was a troubled production which we take full accountability for. We are very sorry to everyone we caused upset privately and publicly. Blake Lively, Colin Hoover, the entire cast and crew led with professionalism every step of the way. Any negativity aimed at them is ours to own. So they want them to take responsibility for any negativity that happened on set.
That would have been good to have during the lawsuit if they already said everything is our fault.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We mutually agreed that the cast would be promoting the film separately and understood why. We have always said we are not perfect, and even if unintentionally makes mistakes, we will always own them. We hold ourselves accountable. It's not anyone's job but ours, and that's part of being man enough. He even used man enough, which is obviously the name of Justin Baldoni's podcast that he used to have, but his podcast partner dropped him after 2 days, and they worked together for 3 to 4 years. But anyways,
we'll get back to that.
Yeah. We will practice what we preach. We are learning and growing from the experience, and we thank everyone for their patience as we find a better way to proceed. We are very proud of the film and the welcome arms that it's been received. Part of our work is to have uncomfortable conversations for public growth. The film is doing that on screen, and we are doing that off screen. Thank you to the cast and crew and public for the opportunity to be imperfect and to be given the space to learn and grow with humiliation and dedication.
But that was they never went out with this, right?
No, but can you imagine the audacity of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively writing that statement that they wanted them to post because Blake Lively has been acting rude in public?
Well, by the way, you were in the lawsuit.
Yeah, and I didn't even know that until you saw it.
There was a half picture of you.
Yeah,
they cut
off my head.
Off your head.
But that was interesting, actually, what they said, because it was a conversation between TMZ and Melissa Nathan. Yeah.
Who's
the publicist that was the major brain behind the alleged smear campaign, I guess. And TMZ and Melissa Nathan were discussing my video, and they were saying, I think TMZ said something like, LMAO, laughing my ass off. We interviewed her too. Let me find that interview her. And then Melissa says, when? Lol. Also, what the f***? Why am I in this too? So Melissa Nathan was mentioned in the article, I guess, because at that point they knew that Justin Baldoni had hired a crisis management team, which brings me to the point that someone planted on Twitter that I had put a video out about Johnny Depp with the hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp, and someone started speculating already back then if I was involved in smearing Blake Lively. So to anyone out there that's really techie and good with metadata and all this stuff, can we find the original source for that? Because I think this is definitely something that Team Blake Lively already planted back then.
You mean in August?
Yeah. I really think that they planted the idea that, because they freaked out when they saw my interview. Obviously, because it put her, I think it had so much effect on her image, and it really freaked them out because they were like, okay, we can control the bad PR around It Ends With Us and say that, you know, oh, it was because she was harassed and she was told to act this way and she was told to promote the movie this way, but they couldn't control when my interview came out because that was from, 8 years ago.
True.
Yeah.
They must have known, right? They must have known.
That I wasn't involved?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they knew. And now, after they've seen thousands of text messages and emails, of course they know I wasn't involved. And this proves it another time, another example that I wasn't involved.
There's just so much in this lawsuit that's amazing, and it really shows how dirty it is in Hollywood. So Baldoni, right, it was his project, right? And he worked on this forever. And, according to his lawsuit, he basically gave in every step along the way to her, right?
Yeah.
So she could have her demands met. And at the premiere, as we know, they weren't allowed to be, his friends and family weren't allowed to be you know,
they were in the basement.
They were in the basement
Yeah.
and in another theater. They watched the movie in another theater
Yeah.
and all that, and blah blah blah. But he did walk the red carpet. But the agreement was that he had to leave when she arrived. So he's on the red carpet giving interviews, talking to the press, and then someone walks up to him and whispers in his ear that, okay, she's about to arrive. You better get going.
So they kicked him off.
Yeah, ushered him away, according to his lawsuit. And just all the, talking about the director, the guy that developed the project, financed it, made sure they had financing. He was just, crushed in the end.
And the fact
he hadn't even seen we know that he hadn't even seen the version that was going to be shown.
And the fact that Blake Lively basically, without Sony's permission, took the unfinished cut that she had cut herself and screened it to an audience. There's a video about it.
We were like, we're going to show the movie, and the studio was like, no, you're going to show 20 minutes. So we're like, no, we're going to show the movie. And they're like, it's not done. And I was like, they don't fucking care. Literally brought the movie with me on the airplane. Like I have like a folder with like a disc, like a hard drive.
I love it. Yes.
No, yeah, it's and the other thing is I have the cutest jeans ever that I'm wearing tomorrow night. Also not sponsored.
So you could see from the video, Blake Lively herself admitted that she took this cut or this DVD on a plane. And
a hard drive on the plane.
A hard drive, yeah. I'm sure it wasn't on a DVD. But a hard drive on the plane without... I mean, how often do you hear things like that? You've been in this industry for so long, Magnus. I mean...
Yeah, when there are unreleased products, they have guards in the theaters when they show us the movies, looking at us so we don't copy or try to film it or something. They're so uptight about anything getting out that the security is ridiculous. So... her having a hard drive going on a plane to show it to someone without permission is just, but of course, no repercussions because it's Blake Lively who's, with Ryan Reynolds. So.
And another thing that I saw in the timeline that he posted as well on the same website, there's a long, I mean, these celebrities, I have to say one thing that I learned from this, they love to talk and read and write really, really long emails. And
where they build each other's egos.
Yes, really long text messages.
This is my MySpace.
Yeah. But, so Justin Baldoni, there was first a really long text message from him to Ryan Reynolds, where he introduced himself, and I worked with your wife, and I love your wife, and blah, 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 blah.
Fan,
yeah.
you're amazing.
Yeah. It was a lot of sucking up, basically, to Ryan Reynolds. But it was very nice.
And it was sort of, the favor was returned, so to speak, in that first message, right?
Yeah, so Ryan replied very, very nice, but also a little...
But 1 month later, he's screaming, allegedly at the top of his lungs.
About the fat shaming in the apartment.
Yeah, in the apartment. And, screaming so badly that one of the Sony bosses said it was the worst he had ever seen.
And the thing also that he said in that text message, he said that, could you just push the movie 2 weeks of the production because we want to have our family time because we don't like being apart.
Who said that? Well, Reynolds said that.
Ryan Reynolds said that. So he wanted Justin Baldoni to push the whole production with how many hundreds of people involved, just a couple of weeks so he and Blake can have more quality time together. Just keep in mind that Justin Baldoni also has a family. I think he has 2 kids. He has a wife, a Swedish wife. Magnus is also Swedish. Good people.
Not if you ask Ryan Reynolds.
No, maybe Ryan doesn't like Swedes. That's it. But I mean, are you surprised that Ryan Reynolds? Because you met Ryan Reynolds many times.
Yeah, he's always been super cool and nice. But then again, I was part of the Golden Globes, and most people were super nice to us because they wanted the awards.
So your opinion doesn't count.
But I mean, of course, there were exceptions, and he was always nice. I have to say, he was cool. So.
I mean, from my experience too. So I feel like this means that he's really good at what he does in manipulating people. Because we were manipulated into believing that he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
No, I never thought Blake Lively was that nice. I mean, I met her many times too.
Yeah, I was on the set of Gossip Girl one time, and yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
In New York, yeah.
Oh, what was she like on the set?
Let's just say that she was the least forthcoming, and yeah, there were super nice people there.
but she wasn't one of them. No. Okay. But you also did that interview with her, where I shared here on my channel, where Magnus talks about how she was promoting Ryan's gin at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you had to like chuck, yeah, you had to drink half a bottle of gin before breakfast.
No, it wasn't. No, let's be honest. But yeah, but one thing I want to say is what I find really interesting, and that is all the people around Baldoni who have sort of abandoned him.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about the podcast. We talked about the podcast host,
Plank.
who worked with him for apparently 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
And so as soon as these allegations come out, she says, "I'm done. Basically.
Yeah.
I'm taking
She
the episodes
says,
down."
"We all deserve better." That was her statement, and she took down all the episodes with Justin Baldoni.
And that's because one woman is accusing him of improper behavior. You know, oh, your hair smells nice. Or whatever,
Don't tell me my hair smells nice. It triggers me, Magnus.
And
yeah.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, now you can go. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
but so you had her. So she takes a step back right away after one complaint, and you had the agents. You know, these people need to come forward and explain themselves.
Yeah.
I think because
Especially Liz Plank, I have to say, because her Instagram says, by the way, feminists who love men. First of all, who says that feminists don't love men? I mean, what is that? What is that?
yeah,
Why-
just because you believe in equal pay, you
Yeah.
don't like men.
Yeah, no. That just like threw me off completely instantly as well. And
But also the agents though, because I don't know how long they represented him, but one person comes out with an accusation, and before anything is said or done or looked into, they dump him.
yeah.
And he, of course, claims that they were pressured by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, who have the same.
Yeah, WME.
Yeah.
They have the same agency, the same management company.
But WME denies this. They just say they dumped him, and they don't explain why. But here's the thing, though. So let's say they don't want to work with someone who's accused of these things. But at the same time, we have JC, whose company is now producing the halftime show during Super Bowl, and he's been accused of child. And no one's taking a step back. Everyone's working with him. He's going to do a halftime show on the biggest program on TV.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I mean, where are the people from WME? Come on, tell us why. Why did you dump him then?
Yeah. And it took 2 hours before they dropped him. It was like, I'm sure that they must have known about the article beforehand, because it happened like instantly. This was during Christmas.
Right.
So, it just like, I'm just so over all these cowards in Hollywood, and you see them all the time. They're just like, oh, everywhere.
And of course, the cast could shine a lot of light on this, because they apparently have been they're all on Blake's side, right?
Yeah, especially the young Blake Lively, Isabella Ferrer. She wrote this long email to Justin Baldoni thanking him for being
Text messages,
amazing,
you
and
mean?
text messages. Yeah, and thanking him for being like so amazing and all that stuff. She even bragged in videos about the intimacy coordinator that they used. All these things. She never even met Blake.
No, she wasn't.
Really?
She wasn't. They didn't work on the same day, so they weren't on the set. But he invited her to come and watch when Blake was working, and it doesn't say in the text messages if she did.
Okay, but she took Blake's side.
As well.
Why would you do that? I mean, and
Unless you're looking for
and the same with
future
Brendan's
roles.
yeah, and the same with Brendan Sklenar. I just learned how to pronounce his name. Everyone says Sklenar, but I heard him say it himself, and it's Sklenar. Brendan Sklenar, who also jumped on Blake's side instantly without having anything bad to say about Justin Baldoni before the article dropped. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. First of all, I wanted to say thank you for all your support. I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't for all the support from you guys and from you, Magnus. He was there during Christmas when people were coming after me saying I was paid to smear Blake Lively, and
It was pretty brutal.
yeah.
I had to go through a lot of her messages because it wasn't pleasant, I can tell you that. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for supporting her, because it was a tough time, and I know that she really was helped by you guys. And sometimes you think that message in the comment section isn't seen or anything, but believe me, especially at times like that, it's really, really valuable.
It is. And you read sometimes my messages too and comments, and you're like, oh my God, that's so nice. You have to take a screenshot of it.
Yeah, we should save them, because I know the others stick in your mind, right?
Yeah.
And, so.
Yeah. And thank you to everyone who said happy birthday to
Yeah,
Magnus.
thank you so much. That was quite amazing to wake up to, all those messages. That was really cute.
He had a big birthday on January 19th, and I said it on one of my videos, and a lot of you guys commented on his Instagram, and you were so happy. That was so sweet. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. There will be a new update soon. Tomorrow is the big day in court. It's not a big day, but it is a day in court where they're going to agree if he's going to get Justin Baldoni's lawyer is going to get a gag order. And
What do you think? Are you thinking?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No. Anyways, the saga continues here on Flawsome Talk and everywhere else on internet, I think. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.